Okay, we are live. Aloha. Welcome in. I'm just going to wait for some people to come into the room. And then, Jason, do you have a way to see the broadcast?
I think I can go on my phone. It's saying I'm live, though.
Yeah, I can see us. There's just a slight delay.
Okay. Yeah, it's showing me live.
And then lower your volume if you do have another broadcast going on.
Okay. Yeah, we're good. There's a long lag, actually. Okay, so we'll just keep that in mind as we're doing the text and stuff.
Aloha. Somebody is in. I'm trying to.
Oh, it's oh yeah, it's Jacqueline. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, Jacqueline.
Aloha. Carol's here. Hi, Carol.
Yay! This is so exciting. Brian's here.
Hey,
Hi.
Brian.
Thanks for being here, babe. Brian, do you have a burning question today?
Yeah, Jacqueline's already reached out and wanted to be the first reading we do, so we'll be connecting with her. And then anybody else that wants a reading, the link's there at the top of the chat. It's the Venmo link. And first, we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been experiencing in the collective and a couple of things that have been coming up just before this call. We had a conversation about what we're kind of tracking energetically and what we're feeling with why this is even being created, what brought us together, and how our guidance is pushing us in new ways, and also these themes that have kind of emerged, where today will probably be along the lines of co-creation, like the new earth. All these themes kind of came through in a download to me, and I wrote them all out. And the first one is co-creation. So I'm sure we'll touch on that a bit as we go through this call, and maybe that'll be relevant to the readings as well.
And then I just wanted to try for everyone, just so you know, we've got 2 YouTube channels at the same time broadcasting this live show. So we've got Jason at Jason Donaldson Healer, and we've got mine at Let's Evolve Together. So I have heard through my beloved husband that if one channel cannot see the other channel's comments, and we can show them, and I'm just going to try it out. There it is, Jason, look. So it shows the comment.
Okay, cool.
So now you can all see it, and then you can take it away. You just click on it. I don't know if you can, but I can do it.
All right. Can anybody else see that? Like Carol commented, Gypsy Alaska commented, which is Jacqueline, in addition to Brian, Unit E.
That's super fun.
Unity. Oh, I get it now. Okay.
Nice. Yes. Okay. Cool.
Cool. Carol said she can see it.
Okay. And let's see. Okay. All right. Well, do you want to start dishing on co-creation and? Oh, okay. Yeah, I see that, Jacqueline. I see you. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So I think we're good logistically.
Yeah, it feels good. It looks good.
We'll figure it out. This is our trial run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. But you did before?
Huh. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so now it's popping up. Is that because you clicked on it?
Yeah. Yeah, so I can post your comments for everyone to see at the bottom, and then I can take them away, which is fun. So anyway, we're just playing stuff. Right, okay. Technology.
This is what most of the work is nowadays. Like a lot of my healing work and the readings and stuff I do and the mentoring, a lot of it is just figuring out the technology and like the promotions and the marketing and all that. It's like, I just want to do the work, you know, I want to do the,
It's like the other arm of it.
yeah. And it keeps changing always, especially the social media is constantly changing how things are happening.
Yeah, it's like, don't get comfortable.
Yeah.
It's a sign of the future.
Yeah. So should we get into the flow with it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So yeah, what Deepa and I were feeling is generally we'll get on and we'll talk a bit about what we're experiencing in the collective energies and that theme that comes forward, and just allowing some organic discussion and then opportunities for people that want readings to go on and Deepa's been and buy one. And so what we were talking about is obviously yesterday was the Aries new moon and the solar eclipse, and how there was also 4 planets, even though Chiron I don't think is officially a planet, but there's Mars, it was the moon, the sun, Jupiter, and Chiron were all in Aries, and so there's a lot of momentum and force and movement, and how like Aries is about various things like fast movement, fire, but also battle. But this seemed more like an internal process this time, where it's like, how do I want to be with self? How do I want to be inside and compared to being an island onto myself with the world? Like, how do I want to be inside in relationship to others versus is it just about me and I need to create like a compound and hoard a bunch of food and everything? Instead, it's like, well, how am I really going to survive if something goes down? If the world changes drastically and the old paradigm doesn't work and the old ways systems crumble, it's going to be through, you know, partnerships with people and collaborations and essentially co-creation, and how really that starts inside with, I also saw that with the Pluto and Aquarius, at least what I'm tracking is the owning of projections almost immediately by people. Like they're having these reactions about things, and then the world's kind of coming back at them like, that's exactly what you do, or this is because you're not really grateful for what you have, and so you never have what you want, in a sense. And that I've seen that happen almost immediately with a couple people, and they got it, like it landed this time, and they're like, oh my God, you're right, I get it now. And how that's creating a lot of shifts in the globally for everyone, where we're seeing this ownership of the internal state of being, and then it being reflected externally with everyone around us that seems separate from us, but they're actually us walking around doing their thing.
Yeah, I feel like this card is what comes to mind. It's literally a mirror, a reflection, and it says the self. But it's like, I feel like with the Pluto and Aquarius energy also, it's almost like the veils have been lifted. The energy is so much more high vibrational and light, and we can see so much clearly how we're creating our reality and how we're contributing to the interactions between ourselves and others, like you said. So the mirrors are just being held up, and we can't look away anymore. So our growth is accelerated because of the clear mirrors that we're seeing in front of us. So we're being really propelled forward by self-observation, because it's like right in our face. We can't do anything about it. We can't hide anymore. It's kind of what it feels like. And it's perfect timing with Pluto and Aquarius, because when you're talking about building the new earth, so Aquarius is an air sign, and that has to do with the mind. So we're getting all this massive transformation and change happening in the realm of the mind. So how else can you rebuild or build a new earth other than getting really innovative, really creative, using your imagination? It starts here, and then it starts to come out into the world through like grounding our visions.
Yeah, especially if they're heart centered, like the higher mind. like rather than the ego mind or the intellect.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we have to have the vision of it, have to see it in a sense, but that can come in a download, that can come in a flash of insight or intuition. And yeah. And also what I liked about the mirror card is it's not very clear. The mirrors are clear, but not so clear that we're no longer in this reality. Like if everyone was literally me and I knew that without a doubt, I would no longer be here. And I want to get to play in this fun environment, because it does get fun when we start to see beyond the illusion and interact in a way that is like, oh, I don't chop off your arm because I don't want to chop off my own arm. You know, I'm not going to shoot you because I'm not going to shoot myself. And that's the thing of like, you know, there was a man today I was interacting with, and a really nice guy. He helps the community a lot. And he's like, I hate my wife, you know, and he got like really like swearing about it. And I could tell it's not like really, really hate, but it's enough where, you know, they don't get along and they live in separate areas of the house kind of thing. And just like how intense that was. And he's like, well, and I told it, well, you know, it can be different. And he's like, no, I made my bed, I got to lay in it. And I was like, well, I'm sure there's part of you that loves her. He's like, no. But it was just interesting how ingrained this thought pattern is, that obviously he does love her. He wanted to be with her, you know, at some point he loved her and wanted to be with her. And then there's also like, there is this part of her that still exists that we can see. And that's the thing for everyone, is there's the health in them. There's the spirit, you know, what's whole, complete, and beautiful. And then there's the other stuff, the shadow and the darkness and the distortions and all the illusion. And what we focus on is what grows. And so like, it's always, you know, I don't work as a marriage and family therapist much anymore, but that's what I'd work with him on, is like being able to see like what's good in her, and also essentially what's good in him, because that's all a reflection of how he's probably treating himself and what he's doing and saying to himself. And people argue and say, well, he's a narcissist or whatever, but those are all just labels of symptoms. It's not infallible, you know, that we're more than our personality. We're more than a personality, you know, disorder. So that's what was coming up with the co-creation for me too, is like, if we're not focusing on the more of the positive while still honoring the other things, then it's just going to grow the other things.
Yeah. What you focus on is what will grow. And then,
Yeah.
so I'm sorry, these cards are so perfect with what you're saying. So there was the self, and then there's the flower of life. These are specific to this deck. These are not normal major arcana cards. These are 2 extra. So the self represents those shadowy aspects, how we see the world through our projections, our illusions, our wounds, and how, you know, how we don't. And then the flower, so it is about the self, that previous Aries energy you were talking about. And then this one, the flower of life, is more about the interconnectedness of all things. Mm-hmm. So it's rising up to that higher frequency of self-awareness beyond the self, saying, you know, I'm not the island. We are all connected, but how am I going to express my uniqueness and individuality through the collective, you know? So I still feel like that. I'm doing a creative process through who I am in this incarnation, and what does that mean to me and the rest of the world, and how do I affect it, that kind of thing. So I think, yeah, these 2 are really relevant today.
What deck is that?
This one is called Dreamy Moons Tarot.
Ah, cool.
Sorry.
Yeah. Very shiny.
Yeah, the artist, you know, she's the writer of the deck and the artist. She's super creative, really magical deck. That's why I have it out today.
Awesome. So is there anything else you wanted to touch on around co-creation, or should we jump into inviting Jacqueline to ask her question?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So Jacqueline, if you want to type in the question you have for your reading, we'll each spend some time with that. I'm going to do more of a energy signature reading. So I'll be, with your permission, as typing in that question, I have permission to just tune in to the energy around that question, around the situation, or what it is that's brought forth. And I'll just kind of share what comes through, and you just take in what resonates and let go of the rest. And then I'll probably pull a couple cards as well for a confirmation. I like to just get the intuitive download first, and then the cards kind of help confirm or clarify it a little bit further. So that's kind of my process. I actually kind of gave up doing readings. I still pull cards here and there, but I just got kind of OCD with it, and I was pulling cards all the time, and there was a lot of emotion involved in it. So I wasn't able to like fully embrace it. So I also realized that I could just tune in with my intuition, and the cards were just kind of a tool to help me learn that. But now my guides are like, you need to be with the cards again. Just like my last relationship, the woman I was with was an astrologer, and is like, oh, I got to embrace more of the importance of astrology, where I before I was like, I don't want it to influence my reality, but there's a lot of validity and help in it. And then Deepa will be doing her magic with the tarot cards. She's already very seasoned at pulling cards, and has multiple decks, I'm sure, at the ready.
Yep, I do. I scaled it down to 5 today. That's okay, Jacqueline. We're just going to bask in the energy of this new beginning. I love to pick your brain sometime, Jason, about the pyramids.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot there. One of the great, confirmations that there was very advanced civilizations before us. It's undeniable, really, because we can't build them today the same way.
Okay, she's typing her question.
Cool.
So if anyone else wants a reading today, we've got plenty of time. The Venmo link is there. For fun, we can pull cards for each other too, Jason. Really embarrass each other.
Yeah, I love talking about myself, so that's all right. I got an Aries moon, maybe that's why. I don't know.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, was just irritated with that. It's because my Aries moon and my Mars is aligned with the Galactic Center are my two favorite, reasons for everything.
Yeah. My reason for everything is I have a stellium in Cancer.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Don't blame me. I have a stellium in Cancer.
And you actually leave the house once in a while.
I actually do love leaving the house.
Really? Oh, that's cool.
It's odd. I think it's because my Mercury's in Gemini. So I love communicating with people. I love being out in the world. I'm pretty sure that's probably why. Yeah. Like I used to work at a bakery because I'm a baker. And
so she texted me the question.
Oh, okay.
So I want you to be able to finish what you were saying, though, if you like.
Well, what I was saying is, so I was in the bakery. I'm always in the kitchen. It is like a crab shell. You're kind of hiding out. But I always found ways to go out into the coffee shop and talk to everybody who's coming in. So I couldn't just stay in the kitchen. I had to get out every once in a while and commune with people. And of course, today, this is so special and auspicious. We got the community card.
Nice.
It says community on the bottom. You can't really see it, and then we got the pleasure card. So I feel like this is about just taking pleasure and being together. That's Pluto and Aquarius,
Awesome.
Okay,
so she texted me also, there's the message that she sent on here.
Okay.
Too many words, wouldn't let it go through. There's a lesson for me there. I did post them on Jason's channel. And so the initial question was, the first couple questions was, what do I need to know to fully live my authentic life? Do I change where I live? Do I find that partner that is waiting for me? And then My question is asking for clarity on moving forward with this next year, as it is the start of my next trip around the sun. So yeah, Jacqueline's birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, Jacqueline. What a powerful birthday week.
Yeah, and so that's again with the questions: what do I need to fully live my authentic life? Do I change where I live? Do I find that partner that is waiting for me? It wouldn't let me, and then I wouldn't let me put it all in the chat. So those are basically the three questions, which we can kind of put those all into one. With
do you want me to start off, Jason?
Yeah, sure, if you want, if you're feeling it.
So the first thing I felt, and I'll definitely pull cards on this, was feeling into what would fill your cup first before you change a bunch of things externally. So let's see first how you're showing up. Because the question, I think the root of the question, the best question here is, what do I need to know to fully live my authentic life? And I feel like once that knowing is recognized, that gives you direction to, oh, this is where I want to live. And this is the type of partner I want. Do you know what I mean by that, Jacqueline? Okay, what does Jacqueline need to know to fully live her authentic life? Wow. Okay, this is so cool. Okay, you got the King of Wands in reverse, and you got the King of Cups upright. This is two potential partners. So from what I get from this is, first of all, they're going right for like partnerships. So I feel like what they're saying is there was somebody you used to, like a type of person you used to go for before. And there may have been with this type of person, a strong ego. And it doesn't do well to complement all your fiery energy and strong energy. So I feel like what they're saying is the next partner is going to be really heart-led and comfortable expressing their feelings, being comfortable in that watery element of the emotions, and sensitized as far as like the needs of their partner. Whereas somebody who is more ego-based will be more focused on their own needs rather than the partner's needs. Ah, gotcha. So Jacqueline says, yes, I do. I know where I want to live, but does the universe agree? Wow, oh my, about, is that true about your partners? Choosing a different type of partner this time? So the other thing I'm getting from the King of Wands energy and the King of Cups, if you look at it in perspective of yourself, is understanding your power through your emotional expression, like getting comfortable in your own emotions, getting comfortable with what you feel is right for yourself, really trusting in that and believing in that, and that bringing you to your source of power. So your comfortability in your own emotional expression and body will take the reversed King of Wands, who is the leader and strong in his spiritual sense of self, and turn him upright. So your power lies in the emotions and being able to, in a healthy way, express and navigate your life through what you feel you need. So I feel like there's a lot of heart energy in this, like not denying what your heart needs. So I feel like the universe might be agreeing with you on the place to live, but I can ask that more specifically, or Jason can take over from there.
Okay. Yeah, let me just tune in. Getting that you live where you live, you love where you live. It's an issue of love of living. Like there's a life you think you need to have or experience in order to appreciate more of what you already have, that you do love where you live, that it's really what I get, and we know each other, so it's, there's that coming in as well. But what I'm really getting is, the past gets in the way of what we have right here in front of us. And so the tarot card I'm seeing in my head is like the Seven of Cups. There's all these options, all these things. And what do I choose? And for the lack of choosing, nothing happens. And so it's coming back in. And that's the two, I'm seeing like the Two of Wands, where like that Two of Cups, it's like coming to the balance with things, coming into your own internal space and looking out over what is around and what is in front of you now, and being with that, appreciating that, enjoying that, and really finding that joy and experiencing that. And then everything's going to open. And one of those Seven Cups is going to light up. I think it's the Seven of Cups. It's like that. It has them all lined up. And one of them is going to light up, and you're going to be like, oh, I want to go this way. I'm going to move towards this. And you're going to move towards that. And it may or may not be the right thing, but like, it's going to get you moving in a direction. And then you may be like, well, no, actually, this is more of where I want to go. And it'll skew slightly, and you'll wind up somewhere where you can't ever possibly imagine right now. And it'll be way better than you ever expected. And this is something Bashar talks about too, is following your excitement, following your passion. And we all know that, gratitude brings more gratitude, and service helps you feel better. But what people don't realize is it all starts inside first. Like, people that find the love and the joy and the peace inside, they will naturally have gratitude. They will naturally help people. They will naturally shine from within because they already have it. And for me, I'm not Hawaiian, and I didn't grow up in Hawaii, but I've learned enough about aloha is that that's how it works. Is like, aloha is something that is so big, and it's like love and spirit and everything. And you just do it. And there's no owing anybody when you do things. In fact, that would block it, to do something. And, like a lot of us that come here, they're transplants, are like, oh, well, I owe you. Thank you. And there's no owe, because that would interrupt that flow. And it's just the flow and enjoying what emanates out from just your pure joy and bliss of, look how amazing everything is. And in turn, it's looking at how amazing you are. And there's parts of us that are going to get really loud and irritated whenever that comes up. Like, I know you're an amazing being, and I can feel your energy. I know you're a great healer as well. And it starts with us, and it starts with that love for us and everything we've experienced that made us who we are today. And so that's what I'm getting intuitively. And I got my Anubis Oracle deck, which I love. So I'll pull one of these cards. This is the Natiru. These are the beings I work with, and describe themselves as our star brothers and sisters. And they're definitely showing up for us during this time of shift and change on the planet, because they were here before. I believe they're the ones that helped us build the pyramids. We were able to communicate quite regularly with them. And so what I'm getting is a sacred relationship. So this is a composite card that includes a number of the Natiru working in co-creation, in a sense, like multiple creation. And you have Sekhmet, you have the pyramid, you have Sobek and Horus holding the polarity of opposites, finding the balance between our primal self, the self that needs to survive and be strong and get its needs met, and with like the Christ-like being that has risen above the things and the revenge and the need to get a justice for things and find that balance and find that Christ consciousness. And Konam, which he came up recently for you, this is the activation of the DNA. He structures the DNA. It's basically, you could look at this as a god, but it's really the organizing principle of the universe. It's like the morphogenetic fields in biology. It's what organizes the cells into a liver or a circulatory system or the whole human body. So this is through this activation, through this energy, you're able to recreate yourself, recreate your body, recreate your reality. And Sekhmet's there to look over you and watch over you. And, the pyramid here in Hawaii, we have like pyramids. This was brought to my attention recently with Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa are like pyramids. And in fact, Mauna Kea has an aquifer. So tremendous energy, tremendous protection here for you. to really embody it. And really, it's just you being willing to let go of what used to serve you, what was keeping you safe, like Sobek was keeping you safe. You know, this part that I need to protect myself. I need to make sure that these things don't happen to me anymore. And I need to feel bad for what happened versus because then I'm going to keep it from happening again. And really, it's like Horus had to rise above all that, because he wasn't like super enlightened in the very beginning. You know, he had to go through his trials, and I think he even like attacked his mother and stuff, Isis, at some point. There's various stories, and I'm not an expert on it. They just come to me and I feel them. But that's what I get from those cards, and I might be going a little over time. I see there's a new comment. Okay. And so let me pull Dragon. Oh, you want to go ahead, Deepa, while I shuffle?
Yeah, are we moving on to the next question, or?
I'm just gonna pull one dragon card real quick.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna let her know, Jacqueline, that because of the way these came out, and just branching off what Jason said, it feels like if your heart is pulling you toward this place where you've chosen to live, and it feels supportive for your heart, and like he said, your excitement leads you there, and it feels like things are unfolding in synchronicity and alignment, I think that's your yes. Because the cards are kind of like, you know, follow the flow. Where's your heart? If a full cup, like the Ace of Cups, represents the heart being full, then follow that flow and it will guide you to that place of living. So if that feels right, then I think that's right on.
Yeah, awesome. And it just came to me, I think it's the 9 of Cups that shows all the cups. I'll have to revisit that. But the card I got was, for you, Jacqueline, is the Alpha Dragon. And so this is the Dragon Oracle. These are really powerful cards. I love this deck. I use it quite often. Same with the Anubis Oracle. And this one is, you harness the divine masculine power of creation. And so you destroy the old, visualize your dream, help to manifest a new world. That's like perfect. Jesus, really? That's totally what we're talking about. So you have plenty of support, Jacqueline. Yeah, you are an amazing being, and whatever you choose, it's going to be perfect, because the universe has got your back, and they're going to like move you if you're not going the right way. And that's the way it has been for me. And I'm super stubborn, and here I am. You know, I'm talking about, you know, gods and goddesses and aliens and dragons, and I never would have done that. That would have terrified me as a youth. So we wind up going where we need to go, and hopefully that was helpful for you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and excuse us while we also navigate the chat and look like we're busy on our computers. Okay, thank you, Jacqueline. That was super cool. Thanks for opening up the space.
Yeah, 7 of Cups. That's the one.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone who's here. This is so exciting. Our first show with Galactic Shamans, live tarot and energy readings. Thanks for participating. Thanks for your energy, your questions, your love, your support. For Bunny Hop, for Mel, for those are the two. If you guys want a reading, click on Venmo, and Brian is next if you want to type in your question, Brian, and then Melissa.
Awesome.
Oracle cards are so cool. So I'm just hoping Brian didn't get pulled away for some reason. I'm just going to check in with him.
I'm just going to grab some fire.
Here he is. Okay. Yeah. Do you want me to wait for you, Jay? Or I can...
Go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, Brian. I feel there's a block that is keeping me from true happiness. I have a beautiful family, a job, and a home, but I feel lost. I'm watching others pursue their dreams while I stand by. I need clarity. Okay, hopefully I can offer you this objectively. If some of you don't know, Brian's my husband. Okay, Here's his question. All right, let me clear this deck.
I can go too if you want. If you'd rather me go first.
Yeah. Well, I shuffle. You want to go first since you are the unknown, to the.
Yeah, it's already started coming in. So what I got, and this is interesting, is it's like you can control your life, but you can't control your life path, which to me doesn't really resonate because we can't really control our life. But there is this illusion we have that there's an ability to structure and create and set things up in a way that it flows and there's not too many issues. Like this happens in the military. There's always contingency plans. There's always things that, like, if this happens, then we're going to go this direction. If this happens, go to plan B, C, D. There's multiple ways to go about it. And so what I'm getting is you have that ability, and it's made you very successful in a lot of things you do, is like you have the ability to like plan and strategize and see multiple avenues of things and be able to pivot quite quickly. Like I feel you as the mature masculine, and there's not a lot of us where you have an alpha energy, but not the kind that's about domination and control. It's the kind that's like very calm, very relaxed, very like, okay, I got it. I got you. This move. And because of that, I think sometimes it makes it difficult, because you're so capable in that way, to really feel and follow the other part of you that's like, I just want to blow everything off and I want to go do this today. And I'm really feeling this is what is moving me. This is what my passion is. But how is it going to look? How is it going to work? And for that, I think there's emotion involved with it. So it clouds that. And that's what a lot of people say in investing and other things is like, you don't want emotion in the equation, which they're right, because it does cloud things. But with this, your passion and your life path, you want that emotion. You want to embrace it. You want to feel it. And you want to like allow that to flow and carrying you. I'm getting like chills as I say this, because this is very counterintuitive to what we've been taught, especially in the masculine principle. And this is the new earth. And this is the people that are going to navigate the new earth much more easily, is those that feel and flow and follow. Not saying you're not doing that already, but it's more less strategy and more just trust and flow. And this doesn't make any sense. And I probably shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it because it feels right. And that's what I'm getting coming through for you, Brian, is like, even though this makes no rational sense, I'm going to do it. I'm going to follow my heart and throw caution to the wind. And that may be against your nature. And again, I want to pull a card from the Anubis Oracle, which I love. And it's always super helpful for me because it's basically galactic aspects of ourselves, cosmic energies that we're much more able to embody at this time. And so, yeah, I got the Tree of Life. And so this is Anubis, Bastet, and Osiris. So that's very appropriate because Anubis is the enlightened heart shaman. He's the one that basically similar to the Odin legend, where he surrendered himself to himself and he hung himself from the tree, or he dove into the deep, dark worlds and totally let go of the need to control anything and allow himself to be taken and to flow and go with what is. And when he did that, he was able to, I experienced Anubis as like a void space where all creation happens, where it's like a blank canvas. And so wherever he is, he's his own void, but he's in that energy, and it's not a negative thing. He's just all potentials, or the ability to navigate all potentials. And then Bastet is like the aspect similar to Sekhmet, very strong, very powerful, but more for polite company. She's got teeth and nails, and she's the desire. She's our passion. She's why we incarnate, is this energy of, I want to go to Earth and this is what I want to do. Otherwise, why would we do this? Because it's Earth and it's a pain in the ass sometimes. But it's like, this is what I really want to do, and I'm going to do it. And Osiris, the energy that all pharaohs in ancient Egypt strive to become, the great, powerful ruler, benevolent ruler, regeneration. He was killed by his brother Set numerous times. He just kept coming back. And even in the end, they wound up putting them all together. Like he spread them all, parts of them all over. And Isis, Nephthys, and Anubis brought him back together with her magic, even though his member wasn't there, his penis wasn't there. But she was able to fashion something. And that's the remembering. So the remembering, the coming back to wholeness and following our passion, surrendering to the outcome and trusting. So that's what I'm getting for you, Brian, is you're a very capable man. And now it's like, can you let go of everything and just trust that you're going to be guided and you're going to land where you need to land, because the universe has got your back as well, just like everybody.
Wow, that was awesome. I learned a lot from that. Thank you for that, Jason. There was so much in there that I can see in Brian, as he's my husband, and wow, that was amazing. And Brian, look, actually the cards I pulled, I think you're going to be surprised. I'm surprised at what we got. But anyway, the bottom of the deck is the 6 of Wands. So I think you just need to know you will be successful in this endeavor. And so this is the endeavor. What you got first was the Queen of Crystals and the 3 of Swords. Sorry, I'm trying to get used to the camera. I feel like this has to do with the mother wound and what you saw your mom go through growing up, and how no matter what, she did what she had to do to support the family. And I don't know how much she stopped to evaluate what she wanted in the process. So I believe you could be taking on that through the lineage, that same, because you watched it. Yeah, because you watched it in front of your eyes, and you have a lot of, she's so strong, she's so there for everybody, but how much is she there for herself? And so you got 3 cards here, and what this says is to find that happiness, that clarity that you're wanting to pursue your dreams and not be the one standing on the outside looking through the window, is the Empress, the 7 of Cups, and the 4 of Crystals. So this is the 4 of Swords in the traditional deck, and this is about healing. And I noticed, Jason, the first card you pulled was also a 4. So I think what this is all saying is that this is about healing the mother wound, healing what you learned from watching her. Yeah, I know. Isn't this amazing? I definitely didn't expect it. And then this is the healing card, taking time out to heal the wounds. And then and know what you want. Maybe she didn't get a chance to really feel into what she wanted with the 7 of Cups showing up again. I think the 7 of Cups energy is going to be a topic for conversation next week. And then we have the Empress. So that's like, how can you come into your power and express your creativity, not what you were taught to be like in this world through what you learned from your parents, but your unique signature in this world is what you're going to find through the healing process. And remember, you got success, 6 of Wands. Like, you will be successful in this. It looks like he likes it. I'm going to show you guys the.
Awesome.
Thanks, Bri. That was a great question. And you guys, as we do this, if you still have like a lingering question, just put it in the chat. Sometimes it takes a minute to come through. So even if we move on or seemingly move on, just put your, if you're like, wait, what was that? Yeah. So thank you, Bri. Do you feel complete with that? And then Melissa, do you want to get your question ready? And anyone else who might want a reading today, just click on the Venmo link. I'll put it in again. You're welcome. Yeah, that was so fun. I didn't expect to see that come through. I've actually never thought of that. So that was super enlightening. Thanks, Jason, too.
Yeah, that was fun. I enjoyed that. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, yours as well. Like with the 4 coming up and the mother, and how our parents are so much the example of, what we're to be in the world, or just navigating that for, 16 to 18 years. Some of us bail at 16 or earlier, like, I can't take these people anymore, I'm out. And then later it's like, oh God, I'm that person.
Yes,
level,
especially when you have kids, then you really see it.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't have kids. Like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to put them through it. No, my parents were great though. They, I just kind of like to joke about it now.
Oh, Mel, if you want, we can go another route. Do you use Cash App or anything? And then I just wanted to say, Jacqueline, how beautiful that as we heal ourselves, it is healing backwards through the time, the ancestral line. I love that too. Thanks, Jacqueline. That's a great comment. And then Carol, let me just check, Carol. I didn't see the Venmo come through. For some reason. How did you sign up, Carol? Did you go through Venmo? And Mel, if you would love a reading today, I have like 3 other ways if you want. So there's options. So just let me know. Yeah, if anyone doesn't use Venmo, we can work it out. I was just trying to keep it simple. Okay, let's go ahead, Carol. For some reason, it's not coming through, but that, it's Mercury retrograde. Okay, Mel. Okay, Carol, let's see. So Melissa's next. Carol, you are after her. Okay, does that sound good, everybody? And then Melissa asks, what is the highest and best use of my focus now? What is my mission work here and now? Specifics are welcomed, LOL. Okay. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for being here and even listening. If you're not asking a question, it's still fun to have everybody here. Okay, so Jason, do you want to start and I'll clear the energy over here on this side?
Okay, yeah, this will be good. Practice and trust. I'll just see what comes through. So what I'm getting is, I can't tell you that. Your heart resonates with that. And so in this moment, it's to tune into your heart, tune into the resonance of your heart, to look around your room or wherever you find yourself and find one thing that you love, that lights you up, that excites you. Just notice that thing. Look at it with curiosity, with new eyes. And connect with that feeling, the emotion that brings up in you. And breathe into it. Take a big, deep breath. Let it go. And I'm seeing you with wings. I'm seeing you have a right wing, but there's no left wing. And to me, that indicates that you're free, but there's a part of you that's limiting yourself. There's a part of you that is feeling like there's an incompleteness. There's something you don't have or you need to do what you want to do. And so I think you come across things you really want to do and you're like, oh, I can't because of this. I'm not certified in this, or I haven't studied that, or the main thing we all go through, and this came up for Deepa and I, is the imposter syndrome. Like, who am I to do this thing? There's all these other people that are doing it and they're so good. And the thing is they've been doing it for 10 years or they've been apprenticed or something. But like, that's what I'm getting is like to really tune in to what you feel that excites you and to follow that and not worry about, and it's similar to Brian's reading, not worry about how you're going to do it or who am I to do this, or you may know very well who you are. And yet there's another part of you that kind of steps in and is like, nope, not going to do that. But I see you with wings and you have both your wings. It's just one of them isn't being used. And I would invite you to really feel that ability and that strength that you have and who you are and everything you've already studied and learned. Like, you have something to offer this planet. And it doesn't matter what it is, because what you're offering is you. You're offering your energy and what's coming through you and your voice. And it's not the words. It's not the words. It's the energy that comes through the words. The words are all made up. We've all agreed that these words mean certain things, but it doesn't mean anything. It's the energy behind them. So no matter what you do, you move towards it and you bring that energy, you bring that excitement, you bring that love and that passion, you're going to be successful with it. And same with Jacqueline, it's going to move you in a direction. And that's kind of the theme that's coming through, is with this Aries energy we just had, it brought up a lot of like, what do I want to do? I need to do something. I need to get moving. I feel all this energy. I want to go. And then it's like, just go in a direction, just find it. And now we're getting into this Taurus energy and Venus. It's like the joy and the groundedness, and it's like the comfort. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to do this for a while. I'm going to feel into this and flow with this. And so I'm going to pull a dragon card for you, because I feel the dragon energy with you. And almost shamanic. I don't know if you're doing what kind of work you're doing, but it feels like you're of that world, doing some kind of energy work, or working with people in maybe groups. So I feel like you're already doing something that is creating an impact in people's lives. Like you're already doing it in a sense. And we'll see what the dragon cards come forward with. So if that Earth and Fire Dragon. So we just had all this Aries fire energy, and now we're moving into the Venus Earth energy. And so, yeah, this is a great opportunity to really like embody what you're drawn to. And so Earth and Fire Dragon works with you to clear the fifth dimensional ley lines. It's time for service. When you give, you receive. So again, I'm sure you know what the ley lines are, but there's these energy centers that run all across the planet, like meridians of the body. And these are clearing and becoming more powerful. And there is an actual dragon ley line as well. And also, and then what came through with the service, where just be of service, just be, and this doesn't mean you do it for free. It means you put yourself out there and you find that joy and you do the thing that you're drawn to in that moment and see where it leads you. It's just using that fire to get moving, and then things will start to ground in, and you'll see where it leads to next. So that's what I got for you. Let's pull it quick. And also Conum. And he's, again, that organizing principle that we were talking about earlier, where things come into order and structure, and this is often the physical body, but it can also be energetically in things that we create around us. So he fashions all the animals, all the humans on the planet. And so he's going to be like your ally in helping create. So hopefully that was helpful. Just take what resonates and, discard the rest. Thank you.
Love that, Jason. I really resonate. I got chills during that reading. I really resonated with what you said. She has two wings, but she's not using one of them. I'm just wondering, Melissa, if you connected to that too. That was super cool. And the other thing I noticed was there was so much earth energy that was coming through. So as far as like, what's the best use to my focus now? I feel like there's like your boots hitting the ground, like doing the real work. And I feel like a lot of people's questions, like with this new earth energy, is, what is my specific mission? But I think there's not actually something so specific. As long as you're offering of yourself from your heart, the mission is complete. So there is something like that that's in the air, it doesn't have to be so like specific, but I am going to pull cards.
Yeah, it can be just for fun. It's just fun.
Yeah. Oh, cool, Melissa. Okay, nice. I've actually got the Sacred Destiny deck here, which tells you kind of like where your focus is at this time, which is super cool. I just thought it would be helpful. Fulfillment. Wow. It says fulfillment on the bottom. So this is that energy of following your excitement, letting yourself be full. So your cup is so full for yourself that it's just overflowing onto others. Because I think basically it's this energy of moving from where we've been for the last, who knows how many years, this energy of martyrdom, giving of oneself so much, sacrificing ourselves for others. And what we're shifting into with this new earth is unconditional love of self. So taking care of self first, not feeling guilty or shameful about that. So we have enough energy that it just flows out into the community and the people around us. So it's really backwards from what we've been taught and what we've seen. And it's this switching of, offering to the self before others. I'm just going to pull tarot for you now. There's some comments. Let's see.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
This is fun. Okay, Melissa. Mission now. Oh, you got like a stack. Okay, Knight of Stars, which is swords in reverse. Pentacles. 9 of Crystals upright. Queen of Stars. Temperance. So you got 2 major arcana cards. You did get the Self card. So what that looks like to me is next to Temperance is you are doing the work. So you don't get a card like Temperance for nothing. Like Temperance is a major arcana card. And it's this energy of being in the higher perspective and allowing that flow in your life of surrender, acceptance, and the unknown. It's just a constant state of movement, and you're emotionally balanced in that place. So you're really above the issues or the struggles. You're placing yourself in this higher perspective so that any difficulty or suffering doesn't hit you quite as hard. So the Temperance energy is a high degree and a high frequency of understanding, which is compassion. So you're in this energy of compassion. You're working with your shadow side, right? Let me just tune into this. So for me, with the Knight of Stars in reverse, which is really the Knight of Pentacles, first off, I feel like the energy of this Mercury retrograde is really going to serve you, Melissa. So there's some energy here about reflecting about your anxiety and worries, because the 9 of Crystals, which is the 9 of Swords in the traditional tarot deck, often shows somebody waking up from their sleep from a nightmare, or they can't sleep because their mind is so full of worry and anxiety. So with the Knight of Stars in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, you're being asked to stop and reflect on how you operate on a day-to-day internally. What do you tell yourself? Do you let your mind go? And in what ways? Are your thoughts supportive and nurturing or debilitating? Because you're being asked, in order to stand in your power and to discover that pentacle with the Queen of Stars, to really hold that Empress energy, there's something left to contend with in the mind and how you talk to yourself, and the energy of like, if I'm not worrying, I'm not being loving. Do you know what I mean? I think my grandma is a perfect example of that. She worried about everyone, and that was her way of expressing love. But I think we know better now as far as how to relay unconditional love, and we're learning how to step out of codependency and martyrdom and get into self-care and all that. So there's a switcheroo that needs to happen from the old way to the new way, first internally. And that will then, I think Spirit will then be like, okay, now it's time for you to share. So with Jason saying there's a wing you're not using, and maybe that wing has to do with, if you have both wings and they're both working properly, you can fly. But if you've got one that's not working properly, you can't take off in flight. If you're wanting to take off in flight, you've got to go within and look at the inner dialogue. That's what I'm getting from that, because there's the Self card, which is the shadow stuff. So you got to, with the Temperance, you got to learn how to work with your mind and everything that comes with that. Does that help, Melissa? Nice, Jacqueline. Thanks. Thanks for supporting each other, you guys. It's so cool. guys and gals.
Yeah, and just to piggyback that, if you don't mind, Deepa, something came to me is like, that's the struggle of all humans. And even Jesus and Gandhi and everyone else is, we all had to contend with this mind that seemed like it wanted to destroy us. And it was just offering things, and we don't have to believe it. Like, that's why I always go to the breath. Like, I'm more of my breath than I am any thought in my head. That's more of my spirit or who I truly am. The thoughts are just offering me a reality. And some of them are really ugly realities, and they keep coming back, and I get upset, but it's like, oh, just breathe. And then it goes away. So maybe that'll be helpful to everyone out there, because that's welcome to Earth. I think it's going to get easier for all of us, though, as all of us quit believing those illusions and false ideas and thoughts in our heads that, have been programmed or we took on as children, or even genetically in our lineage. We're all doing the work to clear that. So especially if you're on watching us guys as you're doing it.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for your question, Melissa.
Yeah, thanks, Melissa.
Okay, so we have Carol next. And if anyone else wants to join the list, I think that might be it, but I'll put the Venmo here anyway. Aw, thanks, Brian. We totally appreciate
Thanks,
that.
Brian. That's awesome.
You're welcome. Okay, Carol is asking, I'm asking for guidance to open my heart with confidence and accurate discernment. Ooh, I love that. Thanks, Melissa. Okay, Carol. I'm going to shuffle my deck. And if you want me to go first, I can, Jason. I just need to clear the energy first.
Oh, I can go.
Okay.
I'm feeling a little something. So,
all right.
What came to me immediately is like my genetic lineage for this body is Celtic, and they worked a lot with fire, and a lot of cultures work with fire, especially the Celts. They loved the fire, and they'd like jump over the fire when they got married, and they'd have the cattle go through two giant bonfires to help cleanse and purify them. But most of all was the heart, and they drink time to activate the heart and to bring up the courage to go into battle or to really do anything to live life and courageously. And I know you already, Carol, and and I feel that you got tremendous dragon energy yourself, and you have this powerful, strong heart. And I'm seeing you have the confidence. And again, it's with the mind, this mind that comes in and wants to kind of like derail things a little bit. And often this is just what's used to comfort ourselves from emotions and to make sense of the world and what is happening around us and how to navigate it. And again, this is a challenge for so many, is to trust that heart, trust the courage that you are already. And I'm almost getting something in your energy field, like there's another aspect of you that I'm kind of, if I have your permission to help clear, I can do that now. If you want to just type in the text thread, yes, please help me clear it. And then I'll continue to talk, and that'll help with the clearing. So you can just say yes or no, because sometimes it's for you to work on yourself. Okay. So again, I would invite you to breathe into your heart and to really drop into that place, knowing that there may be emotion there. And often that's where the emotion is. There's a casing around our hearts sometimes to protect it. And it can feel uncomfortable. It can bring up tingling. in the shoulders and the neck, a tightness. And so if you're willing, I invite you to breathe into that place, breathe into the heart, and just allow yourself to feel what's there. And if you're in a place where you can release through sound, if you can't release through sound, release through the breath. But there's an energy there that is being asked to be embraced, be honored, so that it can move forward, so it can transition. And so again, with this heart, with this fire, with this flame, breathe that fire, breathe that flame, breathe the inner knowing, the confidence. Not knowing you know anything. This is crucial. You know nothing. You know nothing. You know nothing. Breathe into your heart and just notice the other part of you that's really irritated right now. But stay with your heart. Breathe into the heart and just notice what you feel when you hear the words, you know nothing. Then come into the heart. Acknowledge that other part. Acknowledge what it has to say and let it know, I hear you. I love and accept you as you are, but I'm choosing my heart. Actually, you say, and I'm choosing my heart instead of the but. I love and honor you. I hear what you're saying, and I'm choosing my heart. I'm choosing to be directed with my heart. And in that place, I will know what to do in the moment, not before, not after, but in the moment, I will always know, and I will always be guided. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for protecting me. I release you. And this is where the Ho'oponopono would come in, because Ho'oponopono can also be with the self and these ideas and thoughts and beliefs we hold to be true. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And so work with this. Ho'oponopono is much bigger than this, of course, but with that energy, with those statements, anytime a thought comes up that you're unworthy or that you're broken or there's something wrong with you, use the Ho'oponopono and just honor that that thought exists, but move away, come into the heart and use the Ho'oponopono anytime you start to believe it. What card am I feeling for this? I'm actually going to use a Rider-Waite deck on this one. And just do a couple shuffles. I just want to get confirmation on this. Any other information that wants to come through. It's a big one, a lot of energy in this one. I'm feeling I can definitely relate to this. Yeah, so I got the Two of Swords. And notice she's blindfolded. And so she's going within, she's discerning between thoughts. But in the middle is her. You also have to see the moon in there. So that's like the intuition, the deep inner knowing, the subconscious. So in a way, you're being asked to reprogram your subconscious, where there's all these thoughts and there's all these options. And often it's the middle, the middle path. And that's the heart. And she's even crossing her heart. So if we can quit believing these thoughts and these ideas as truth and reality, we come into the present, we come into the knowing, we come into the heart, and then you're able to navigate life from a place of presence. And this starts to reprogram the subconscious. And so they say that spirit comes through us into the subconscious and into the conscious mind. So that's why sometimes it takes a little while for us to really embody what we want on this planet, because it's got to reprogram the subconscious, which remembers everything. And as it becomes conscious, we have a choice. Do I want to dance with those thoughts and beliefs from the past? Or do I want to embrace these positive ones, the exact opposite? Or do I want to just come in the middle and trust I know what's right and just keep coming back to the middle? Because it's not this or that. It's not the men. It's not the women. It's not these people are the problem. Those people are the problem. It's coming into wholeness and seeing that's where all the answers lie. And it's not a thinking thing. So you're a very intelligent person. And a lot of us have used our intelligence to navigate the craziness here. And honestly, the heart is way smarter and way faster. And you know this. I'm already saying what you know. I know there's part of you that's kind of irritated, but notice that and then come to like the heart and come now. And hopefully that was helpful. I felt like we did a little clearing and, work with the Ho'oponopono. This is the self-identity kind. So that would be what I'd recommend moving forward. And I'm curious what Deepa picks up on this one as well. Thank you, Carol. Just take in what resonates and throw away the rest.
Thank you, Jason. Yeah, I want to support everything you were feeling. It was very powerful. My whole body got hot, and it just made me think, wow, when the healing energy wants to come through, the healer like turns on, because my hands weren't hot until you started doing the visualization and clearing. It was so cool.
I got spammed.
I think so. Not sure what
Somebody else doesn't like tarot. That's all right. It's not for everybody. It's just one of the many tools.
Okay. So anyway, I got physical healing and emotional healing right off the bat when you were doing the energy clearing. And I just thought that was so powerful. And it made me, so to me, it feels like there's this denial. There's something inside that's being pushed back, denied its life force for fear of what that could mean for your life. Because you have the Queen of Stars, which is the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like she's really holding something back. So in the background, you have the Page of Crystals and the Page of Wands. There is something really inspiring your way forward, your next steps that's trying to get through. And it's pushing against this fabric of your subconscious. And from that, the wounds are wanting to be recognized and felt. Because I think we got the Eight of Crystals in reverse. They're holding you back. There's something that's being denied that's holding you back. And it might have to do with, so you've got all this in reverse. This is what I mean about the denial. All this in reverse. Six of Crystals is usually moving into calmer waters. Being reversed, there's a reason why this energy can't come forward. It's here for you. It's pushing on you to grow. There's something wanting to come through for your next level. It might have to do with really having to go through a deep process of death or transformation. This is death in reverse. This is Scorpio energy. This even could be reconciling with a past loss of a loved one, even maybe even from your distant past, but feeling like if I let go, if I process death, if I come to feel good about it, where does that bring me? Where does that leave me? Do I let go of the person? Do I disconnect from them? No, it just brings you peace in your current present moment. You also got the Five of Stars in reverse, which is that kind of hopeless energy, guilt card, Five of Pentacles. We often see two people hobbling in front of a church, not going inside the church where there's help. So it's something we tend to inherit through the ancestral line. If I let go of this person that was in my past, and I step into my happiness, does that mean I'm not a good person? There's something there. Thanks, Bri. There's something there with the energy of that feels like your power is here knocking on the door with these two pages. Your new beginning is here. But you will have to face something that is deeply held within your chest. You're holding it really close. And I feel like it has to do with a belief system of not allowing yourself to be happy. If I'm happy, where does that leave the rest of my family? or what I've been taught. You know, they were never happy, or they never got what they wanted, or they worked so hard and I'm not having to work that hard, because we're all different generations. So it's a really different energy with each generation that comes through. So to try to live through their generational karma is so unfair to you. So the other thing I got was distant thunder, clear the air. So thanks, Jason, for I just love how you did that clearing there. That's so cool. It was just perfect. And it was just a reminder of how, like, with the emotional healing and the physical healing, how that stuff that may have been like an issue or a deep wound in the past can affect, you know, as thunder can come in and like affect the present moment. So I don't know. Anyway, and you also got the self in reverse too, with that Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So to step into your power, there's something to recognize about the shadow that's still playing out. So what do you think of that, Carol? Thank you so much, Bri. And I blocked the user too. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we'll send that person some love, even though they probably don't want it. Whatever they need. I can relate. I've been in those places myself, whatever it's about. So we had one more, or how are we looking?
So yeah, I'm just waiting to hear back from Carol.
Okay. Yeah. I'd love to get confirmation on how she's doing with all that.
There we go. I know the reward for work is more work. That's what my spiritual teacher always says.
Well, is it though? Can it be play? I mean,
yeah.
Like, I get what you're saying, and there's a playfulness that can come forward with anything we do. And I think that's why they had the monks scrub the floors with toothbrushes, you know, it's like, can they do that? Can they find the joy in doing that? And again, it's an internal thing rather than external, changing how we think about it. But that's where most of us will go. Yeah. So yeah, we were just talking about that with this book, the Golden Lake, Lisa Royal Holt wrote, and how the Syrians worked with polarity and polarity, paradox, and then coming into neutrality. And a lot of it's just observation. And this is similar with DBT. It's a form of therapy they use with people that are bipolar, where you're inviting them to and come into the middle, the center with things, versus getting caught up in the thoughts and the bouncing back and forth. It's called dialectical behavioral therapy. And it was created by a woman that actually was diagnosed as bipolar, which to me is somebody that's extremely creative, lots of energy, and that creativity, that powerful mind can take them down and they can get into really low states. So it's really a powerful gift that hasn't really fully been understood in Western culture. And it took somebody that has it or been diagnosed with that to bring to light how you navigate it and how it's not a bad thing. That's what I love about this new earth, is the acknowledgement of the superpowers of ADHD, dyslexia, bipolar, because even autism, it's all neurodiversity, and it's all for the perpetuation of the species. And it was valuable. Even sociopaths are valuable, super valuable. It's just, how do we navigate that, and how do we honor the being rather than getting caught up in the behavior and things like that. So I just wanted to throw that in there. I'm not sure why, but
yeah, there's always a reason. Okay, so I don't have anyone else on the list.
Okay. That was a lot. I feel pretty full.
Yeah.
That was fun. This was really great. I thank you so much, everyone that watched and everyone that wanted a reading. And, even if people show up and they don't want readings, it's having your energies here feels really good. And it's fun to share. And I can kind of sense who's here watching, because it just we're all connected and just kind of comes through, and we find things to talk about. So even if you don't want a reading, tune in and see what comes up. Or if you do, great. But I'm having fun doing this, and I love working with Deepa, and I really appreciate Brian. all he's doing to help us out, and everyone. What a blessing! What a fun journey this is gonna have. I'm just loving life more and more. It's great.
Thank you, Carol. That's so sweet. Yeah, Jason, thank you so much to you too. I mean, it's like without this whole dynamic, this would not be happening. So I so appreciate you. I'm so grateful. Thank you, Brian, for being the great protector. Because you handled it before I knew how, and I really appreciate that. So, yeah, I'm just like so excited. This was definitely magical.
Yeah, it's great. I can't wait till next week.
Yeah, totally, definitely.
All right. So, is there anything we want to share before we go? Anything else?
Yeah. Anybody else?
Lingering?
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Super fun. Happy birthday, Jacqueline. She's off celebrating now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Much love to you too, Carol.
Yeah. Thanks, Carol. Love you.
Thank you, Bri.
Thanks, Brian.
Great question today. I can't wait to talk about it over coffee later. Yeah, you're welcome, Melissa.
Yeah, he showed up with that energy today too. He's like, "Oh, I got you. I know what to do." So that's just so
Brian has been helping us from the start. So thank you.
Absolutely. It's been a huge help. And none of this would happen without, all of us collaborating and co-creation at its best. It's no longer the lone wolf. It's like, how can I help each other by helping myself? And I love what you said is being selfish, and not the little s, but the capital S, the self, like our infinite self.
Yeah.
When we tune into that, when we take the time we need to be like, I'm sorry, I can't do that, or I'm not able to show up for this, and really get into our center, then we can, really show up more powerfully in the world. And it happens more often. It may require more time taken away from the world at first, but then eventually we're going to immediately snap back into that self, back into that place, So, welcome to the new earth.
Aw, thank you, Bri. Yeah, welcome to the new earth. And I thought I would finish by, I had previously opened the Akashic Records to connect with our spirit guides and the Galactics. So I was going to just say a thank you to them and close the records if you guys want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I know we're already in our hearts. So we're going to offer up gratitude to our galactic ancestors, to our spirit guides, to our higher selves. I would like to thank the masters, teachers, and loved ones for their love and compassion. I would like to thank the Lords of the Akashic Records for their point of view. And I would like to thank the Holy Spirit of Light for all knowledge and healing. The records are now closed. The records are now closed. The records are now closed.
And shining like the sun washes away the spiral of darkness, honoring the spiral and its role it played in this evolution, in this remembering, in this progress. Coming back to wholeness, coming back to the light, coming back to the love, honoring the dark and all that is. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Namaste.